right, you guys sit down right now because they only gave me 20 minutes to talk about targeted therapy and ovarian cancer, and we got a lot to go through. So first, I have to say that it is an incredible honor to be invited to speak here. I can't even tell you what this means to me and my family, my parents. My father's from UP, my mother's from Bengal. They came to the United States and had me, but I wasn't born here, and to be able to come to India and share what I've learned in the States, it's a big deal for me. So I really appreciate you having me here. So let's have the lights off, and we're going to talk about how we're going to cure ovarian cancer. I can't emphasize enough how important that comment was about infrastructure. Just developing the infrastructure, your patients are going to do better. We know in the States that high-volume centers, where a lot of these operations are performed by high-volume surgeons, patients do better. We've had large registry database studies that have supported that. And so I think moving towards the infrastructure, the facilities to take care of these patients is going to be very important. Okay, so I'm here to talk about targeted therapy and ovarian cancer. It's one of 3 talks I'm going to be giving over the next 2 days, and try to do it quickly. All my slides are available. If you'd like to keep them, just go to the back and you can download them or have them sent to you via Dropbox, because we're going to rush through these. So these are the 7 important controversies in advanced epithelial ovarian cancer. Concept of cytoreductive surgery, neoadjuvant chemo, intraperitoneal therapy, dose-dense weekly paclitaxel, and then, of course, the targeted therapies, anti-angiogenesis therapy, homologous recombination deficiency, and I'm talking about PARP inhibitors there, and then checkpoint inhibition, which is our immunotherapy. So we're going to focus on this last group. Now, in addition to this last group, we're going to focus on high-grade ovarian cancer, because ovarian cancer is really 5 different entities. Is there a microphone I can carry? Thank you. Ovarian cancer is really 5 different entities, right? You got your mucinous, your clear cell, your endometrioid, and your serous, and the serous cancers are low-grade and high-grade. Low-grade, each of these different entities have different molecular aberrations, and the high-grade serous cancers are characterized by homologous recombination deficiency. It makes them more susceptible to platinum-based therapies. And unfortunately, the other diseases are pretty uncommon or rare, so we can focus most of our time talking about these lesions. So, anti-angiogenesis therapy. Well, Judah Folkman, I love history. He published his thesis in the early 1970s in the New England Journal of Medicine. He talked about angiogenesis. He talked about tumor angiogenesis. He coined the term anti-angiogenesis therapy, and actually his laboratory, he was a pediatric surgeon. His laboratory isolated several angiogenic growth factors. This is the angiogenic map. Fong Lu was one of my fellows, so was Ramaz Eskander at the University of California, Irvine, where I teach and take care of patients. They put this map together. You will see that there is a number of different important anti-angiogenic pathways and lots of molecules that can interrupt these pathways and stop tumor angiogenesis. As you know, when a cancer is very small, microscopic, it relies on passive diffusion of nutrients to grow. But once it doubles and becomes a solid tumor, it needs to sprout new blood vessels. And the way it does it sends out the VEGF ligand, binds to the VEGF receptor, and the angiogenesis signal cascade is initiated. And that can be seen here. And we have molecules like bevacizumab, a monoclonal antibody that can bind VEGF to prevent it from interacting with its receptor. In addition, the receptor can be inhibited with various drugs that are called tyrosine kinase inhibitors. In ovarian cancer, we have performed 9 phase 3 randomized clinical trials. 9 of them. And they all met their primary endpoint. The primary endpoint was to improve progression-free survival. And in all these studies, we used 5 different drugs. Bevacizumab was used in 5 of the studies. Cediranib, niraparib, pazopanib, and trabantinib. So in upfront primary therapy, we have GOG-218, we studied bevacizumab, ICON-7 studied bevacizumab, and AGO-12 studied the oral tyrosine kinase inhibitor nintedanib. And nintedanib is a trifunctional kinase inhibitor. In addition to inhibiting VEGF receptor, it inhibits fibroblast growth factor receptor as well as platelet-derived growth factor receptor. All three of these studies in newly diagnosed patients, progression-free survival was significantly improved. Okay. Maintenance therapy. AGO-16, European study, looked at pazopanib, another oral tyrosine kinase inhibitor, and looking at the time, oral TKI significantly improved progression-free survival as a maintenance drug. Problem with pazopanib, hypertension is a significant side effect to deal with. It's not, you can have safety problems with it. Platinum-sensitive recurrent disease, bevacizumab was studied in the OCEANS trial, was also studied in GOG-13. And in the United States, GOG-213 in the platinum-sensitive population got bevacizumab approved in the U.S. for platinum-sensitive recurrent ovarian cancer. Here in India, we do not have bevacizumab approved for the platinum-sensitive disease population, I want to point out. In the platinum-sensitive recurrent population, we also had cediranib, an oral tyrosine kinase inhibitor, inhibits all three VEGF receptors, 1, 2, and 3, at nanomolar concentrations. And it also, in ICON-6, platinum-sensitive recurrent disease, significantly improved progression-free survival. Then when we turn to the platinum-resistant, before we turn there, we also looked at this. Look at this. Olaparib with or without cediranib. Olaparib is a PARP inhibitor. And cediranib, as I told you, is a oral TKI, anti-angiogenesis drug. That's a chemotherapy-free doublet. Also improved progression-free survival. In the platinum-resistant space, we have the Aurelius trial, which got bevacizumab approved in the United States for platinum-resistant recurrent disease. And we had PINOVA-1, which brought us the angiopoietin inhibitor, another pathway, not the VEGF pathway of angiogenesis, but another pathway that is important in tumor angiogenesis, and the drug is trabantinib, a peptide that binds the ANG1 and ANG2 ligands so they can't interact with the Tie2 receptors. So let's look at look at that. GOG-186I, bevacizumab plus phosphotabulin. Phosphotabulin is a tumor vascular disrupting agent, whereas bevacizumab prevents new blood vessel formation. Phosphotabulin prevents or targets existing tumor vasculature. That study showed improved PFS as well. Again, like olaparib plus cediranib, bevacizumab plus phosphotabulin is a non-platinum doublet, or a non-chemo, or a chemotherapy-free doublet. That's what I'm trying to say. So let's just look at these trials very quickly. GOG-218, we'll just look at the Avastin studies, or the bevacizumab studies, because that's the only drug approved. Remember, it's 5 drugs. 5 drugs studied in 9 phase 3 randomized trials, all anti-angiogenesis drugs, all improved progression-free survival significantly. So GOG-218 was the registration trial, 3-arm study, showed a significant improvement in PFS associated with chemotherapy plus bevacizumab, followed by bevacizumab maintenance. ICON-7, again, another frontline study, looked at half the dose, 7.5 mg per kg. And again, the bevacizumab arm was associated with significant improvement in progression-free survival, and more importantly, OS, overall survival, appeared to be significantly improved in a high-risk subset characterized by suboptimal stage 3 disease and all stage 4 disease. I'm not allowed to show you the OCEANS or GOG-13 studies because they're in the platinum-sensitive space, and we don't have bevacizumab approved in the platinum-sensitive space. I can show you Aurelia. Aurelia was a study of chemotherapy by physician's choice, with or without bevacizumab, and that significantly led to an improvement in PFS, and also led to approval of the drug in the United States for platinum-resistant disease. Tumor vascular disrupting agents, that's where we're headed now. Again, these are drugs that target the existing vasculature, whereas bevacizumab prevents new blood vessels from forming. Tumor VDAs target existing vasculature. They tend to work at the core of the tumor, where all the blood vessels are, and they cause necrosis. This causes the blood vessels to slow down in their transmission of nutrients, and you get necrosis. And then, meanwhile, in the periphery, bevacizumab is preventing new blood vessel formation. So these are the PFS curves from GOG 180CI. It's a chemotherapy-free doublet. And the new study is called FOCUS, and I'm the principal investigator on this study. This is a phase 3 randomized trial looking at the Aurelia winner. Aurelia with platinum-resistant ovary. So it's chemo, physician's choice, plus Bev, randomized to with or without phosphatabulin. This trial is ongoing, and hoping to have good results from that. All right, let's move on to homologous recombination deficiency or PARP inhibitors. This is how, folks, we are going to cure ovarian cancer. Watch this move. So Calvin Bridges was the man who came up with or made the first observation of synthetic lethality. Synthetic lethality is where you have a mutation in an organism that is not lethal by itself, but when you add something pharmacologic or synthetic, if you will, it causes cell death. So he was the first person to observe this in fruit flies, and basically it works like this. When we have single-strand breaks in our DNA, poly-ADP ribose polymerase 1, PARP, fixes those breaks. But in a patient who's given a PARP inhibitor, the single-strand DNA break induced by chemotherapy, which is cell cycle specific, cannot be fixed. Those single-strand breaks get replicated and become double-strand breaks, and the patient with the BRCA mutation, BRCA, the protein, fixes double-strand breaks through a process called homologous recombination. But a BRCA patient, a BRCA-positive patient, has a homologous recombination deficiency. So now, that patient who's given a PARP inhibitor that's BRCA positive, not only can she not fix single-strand breaks, she can't fix double-strand breaks. Cell dies. Watch this. 15% of women with ovarian cancer are BRCA positive. Believe it or not, another 15%, while they don't have the mutation in the germline DNA, their tumor will have a somatic mutation. So that's right there. 30% of patients with ovarian cancer, high-grade serous ovarian cancer, may be susceptible to a PARP inhibitor. It gets even more interesting. The process of homologous recombination requires 19 different proteins. Mutations in some of these other proteins may confer that homologous recombination phenotype. It is estimated that another 20% of women that don't have germline BRCA mutations, that don't have the somatic BRCA mutation in the tumor, another 20% probably have homologous recombination deficiency by virtue of some mutation in another protein in the homologous recombination pathway, which means that up to 50% of women may be susceptible to PARP inhibitors and derive benefits. So let's look at some data. Mary Claire King, she went to my alma mater, UC Berkeley. I graduated in 1990 from UC Berkeley, and that was the year she discovered BRCA1. Most sporadic ovarian cancer, or at least half of it, may have a homologous recombination deficiency, and we are now developing assays to look for that. So these are the current PARP inhibitors: olaparib, rucaparib, niraparib, and veliparib. All four inhibit PARP1 and PARP2. Their potency to trap the PARPs differ. You can see right there, niraparib is a little stronger than olaparib, and rucaparib, which is stronger than veliparib. There have been no head-to-head trials comparing these. So let's look at some of the trials that are ongoing. So this is called Study 19, published by Lederman in just a few years ago. This was looking at olaparib as a maintenance drug. And it certainly improved progression-free survival. Randomized phase 2 trial. This was followed by Study 41. Indian physician Dr. Oza from Canada did this study. This was looking at chemotherapy plus a PARP inhibitor versus chemotherapy alone. And again, study 41, the results showed significant improvement in PFS. This was then followed by study 42, which has since been renamed study 1, because this led to FDA approval of olaparib in the United States. This looked at 4 cohorts of germline BRCA patients, castration-resistant castration-resistant prostate cancer, pancreatic cancer, metastatic breast cancer, and ovarian cancer. Most women with ovarian cancer in the study had 3 or more lines of therapy, and what was remarkable was the response rate was 31%. Anyone that does chemo for women with ovarian cancer know that when we're in second line, third line, whatever, we're getting response rates of 20% or less. 31% response rate. If you look at the package insert, it's 34%. 34% on those women with measurable disease. So that led to FDA approval in the United States. Now we'll go through some trials. Right now, what we're studying olaparib and several other trials. Solo 1 is looking at olaparib in newly diagnosed women with stage 3-4 disease. Solo 2 is a phase 3 randomized trial in the platinum-sensitive recurrent population, looking at olaparib. And Solo 3 is another phase 3 randomized trial looking at olaparib in the platinum-sensitive disease population, but instead of being compared with placebo, as it is in Solo 2, it's being compared with chemotherapy, physician's choice. We have a phase 2 randomized trial of olaparib with or without cediranib. I showed you that earlier. A chemotherapy-free doublet. These were the results from it, and that has led to a phase 3 trial that is ongoing within the gynecologic oncology group. It's olaparib cediranib in the platinum-sensitive recurrent population, as well as the combination in the platinum-resistant population. Paola is a study looking at bevacizumab plus or minus olaparib, and it's an ongoing phase 3 trial. Let's move to the next PARP inhibitor. 3 minutes. Oh my God. Ariel 2. This was practice-changing stuff, guys. This was presented at ASCO a year and a half ago. And what they did in Ariel 2 is they tested a homologous recombination deficiency assay to see if the assay can predict which patients are going to respond to the PARP inhibitor. This time, PARP inhibitors were rucaparib. And what you can see here, the germline mutated patients did the best with rucaparib. But the patients picked up on the assay also did pretty well. The people that were HRD positive did pretty well compared to the people that were HRD negative. This was practice changing. This showed us that we could have a predictive assay that could tell us who is going to respond to therapy. That's the waterfall plot, and you can see the responses down below. Many of the patients are those patients responding that had an HRD positive tumor. And then, as I promised you, there are other proteins other than BRCA that confer this phenotype, including RAD51C. So what's next? So Ariel 3 is the Blaze phase 3 trial looking at rucaparib in platinum-sensitive recurrence. Last week or 2 weeks ago in the United States, based on the Ariel 2 data, rucaparib got FDA approved in ovary. Nova, new drug, niraparib. This is the only phase 3 randomized trial that's been completed yet. Practice changing. Look at this. In the patients that were germline BRCA mutation, the addition of niraparib significantly improved PFS. This is a phase 3 randomized trial, so it's even better than Ariel. In the non-germline BRCA patients, if you got niraparib, you did better. So even if you didn't have a germline mutation, you got the PARP inhibitor, you did better. And then the non-germline patients that tested HRD positive also did better. I'll be very quick, 2 minutes. So PRIMA is a phase 3 frontline maintenance study looking at niraparib. GOG280 was a phase 2 with the fourth PARP inhibitor, veliparib. You can see the results. We had 8 partial responses, which allowed it to move to the phase 3 randomized frontline trial looking at veliparib. And that trial is ongoing right now. It's the first phase 3 frontline trial that's being done. Really quickly, checkpoint inhibition. William Cooley, father of cancer immunotherapy. Cooley's antigens were used to treat bladder cancer. We had a nice presentation by one of the students earlier, showed you how PD-1 and PD-L1 and CTLA-4 work to break immunologic tolerance. What happens is we've always known that these cancers are not recognizing the cancer as being foreign. Something is preventing that, and that's PD-1, PD-L1 expression. But now we are able, with anti-PD-1 and anti-PD-L1 molecules, we're able to break immune tolerance. And what's going to cure ovarian cancer is this. It's going to be your cytoreductive efforts, followed by platinum, paclitaxel, anti-angiogenesis therapy, and then you're going to screen these patients for HRD mutations and put them on a PARP inhibitor and immunotherapy. Why immunotherapy? Because immunotherapy is going to, patients that have HRD mutations have a very high mutational load. That high mutational load is going to be seen as being foreign by these tumors that have checkpoint inhibition. And so once they have an active immune system, they're going to recognize these tumors that are HRD positive and the high mutational load as being foreign, and that's how we're going to eradicate ovarian cancer. In the ovarian space, we've got avelumab, which is being studied in Javelin 100 for newly advanced ovarian cancer, and it's also being studied in Javelin 200, phase 3 randomized trial in platinum-resistant ovarian cancer, and in GOG 3015, atezolizumab, which was an anti-PD-L1 inhibitor that got approval for uroepithelial cancer, is being studied in newly diagnosed ovarian cancer. So what's the future? Future is going to be translational science, predictive biomarkers, chemotherapy-free combinations, and new therapies in the future, RNA-based therapies, antisense, small interfering RNA molecules. We're going to have stem cell detection. We're going to have gene editing with CRISPR, and we're going to have gene therapy. And I want to thank you for your time. Real honor to be here.